Welcome to Nightique. I'm Edward St. Pé. All of our programs are archived at nightique.com, so take a look. Tonight we have a young journalist from the Jackson State Morning News program, which is across the central area of the state. She's the anchor every morning. Her name, Maura Moed. She's going to give us some insight into how she moved from college athletics into journalism. Stay tuned.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. Welcome to Nightique. Our guest tonight is Maura Moed. Maura, thank you for coming.
All right, thank you for having me.
Now, we work together on the morning news program at Jackson State.
That's right, Metro Morning Live.
And so you are a college athlete.
Yes.
That was where you started as far as, I guess, maybe in the public eye. Tell us about your career.
Yeah, well, actually, sports, I've been playing sports since I was 5, but I was fortunate enough to get a volleyball scholarship to Mississippi Valley State, and it's a funny story because I was recruited for softball, actually, so I guess Valley, I don't know. I love my school, but when I got there was no scholarship money in softball, so with my coach, he told me, you know, I know that you played several sports. Is there anything you might want to play before our season comes up? I said, yeah, I'll play volleyball, and little did I know, I ended up playing both sports my first year, but after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to stay indoors. I don't want to play softball anymore, so I ended up staying and flourished in the program and became SWAC MVP in 2010, so it was pretty good.
What kind of traits are instilled in a young person by becoming a championship volleyball person? What does that transform you into after a number of years doing that? Right.
Honestly, Ed, I'm still trying to figure it out myself, because my mom, a great lady, but not one athletic bone in her body, maybe running, and my father, he was a good athlete, but I just have this drive that I have no idea where it comes from, and it's with anything I do, whether it's sports, of course, my career, you know, I do makeup. I'm just passionate about a lot of things, but one thing I can say is that it's just a natural thing. I can't help it. I always want to give 100% in anything I do, so I just like to be successful.
Do you think that some of the lessons you learned in volleyball, for example, winning, for example,
definitely
translate to the rest of your life?
Yes, being an athlete all the time, no matter what, I always have that competitive edge, you know, so it's like that same urge to want to win. I want to win at everything. You know, I want to be the best, you know, whether it's sportscaster, newscaster, whatever. I want to be the best. Even a makeup artist, I want people to call me when they want to look beautiful or something. I just like being at the top. I was always made fun of growing up because I was kind of a jock, but I was real girly, but at the same time I was kind of nerdy too. I don't know. I was just like this well-rounded person when it came to my personality, and they always called me an overachiever, and I used to hate it, but now I'm like, hey, I'll roll with it.
So do you think that it's safe to say that you can take out of that your experience as a champion volleyball player and all SWAC performer, that helps you now in the rest of your life? It
does, and not only that, being in a team environment, it has allowed me to develop people skills, being able to work with others, of course know my own strengths and weaknesses, and be able to salve off of other people's strengths and weaknesses and just have this whole team thing so everybody can flourish. I'm really big on everybody working together. So that's a really good thing, and I've always been a leader in the sports I played, and so coming into the career aspect of my life, the adult aspect, the real world, it definitely paid off because now I'm around so many different people on so many different levels, age levels, career levels, and the fact that I can go in and adapt and mesh with everyone, it's a good thing.
So, from the sports world, you moved into on-air work, right?
Yes.
And modeling too. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. Was the modeling first?
Yes, modeling was definitely first. I got to college and there was a modeling squad. So
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9", and one of the coaches from the squad, she saw me one day after practice and was like, "Hey, we're having a tryout. You should come by." So I did, and at that time, I didn't really have my walk together. I was feminine and girly, but a model-esque type of walk for a runway, I had no clue what I was doing, but luckily my height got me in there. But it was nice.
So height is important in modeling, right?
Yes, it definitely is. I wouldn't say in the whole industry it's not, because as we were talking earlier, there's all types of different models. There's lifestyle models. They can be any height. Those are the people that you see in home and garden and regular people. So it's not a big thing, but runway, there is a height requirement. You got to be at least 5'7" and up.
Mm-hmm. And how tall do the models get?
Oh, wow. One of my close friends, actually, she's about 6'1" on her own. So you can be pretty tall.
So if she was wearing high heels, she might be 7 feet.
Pretty much,
Almost.
or pretty close to it. You're right. 6'5", yeah.
So that's not too tall to be a model? I mean,
No.
do they have
Some
clothes to fit people that
it's
tall?
beautiful. Well, I'm sure most of it's going to be hemmed or tailored to fit their body. But no, that's what people look at when they see high-end, high-fashion modeling. They want to see that long, slender body. So.
Okay, now from there, television work. Tell us about that, beginning of that.
Oh, wow. College, I was a double major. I double majored in health, PE, and recreation and mass communications. So when I started getting into the heavy coursework of it, I really realized I was already comfortable in front of the camera. My teacher said I sounded great, and then I guess the look kind of came along with it. That's what kind of helped me ease into it. But I was fascinated with the background work. Till this day, I can shoot and edit things, and of course, English was always my favorite subject as a kid. I don't know why. So the writing came to me naturally too. So it was just like, man, this is a pretty good field for me to be in. So that's kind of how I went into that. And being an athlete in college, I was just all about sports. I was football, sports, sideline reporting, basketball, sideline reporting. I hosted a coach's show. So it was pretty much my time to really find my passion for it.
So you knew at that point, you were thinking television, journalism, this would be perhaps your area in life to go into.
Yes. Yes, career-wise, yes.
Okay, well, we're talking to Maura Moed, and she's a correspondent, a journalist here at Jackson State University on the news program. We're going to talk more about her career and what she's got planned, and get some advice for other young people out there who might be aspiring in the same direction. After this, we'll be right back. This is Nightique.
I'm Dr. Quinn, and I believe in the power of exercise. Many patients ask me if they're going to get high blood pressure or diabetes because their parents had these conditions. I tell them that we cannot control our genetics, but we can control our diet and level of exercise. Practicing healthy decisions result in a better outcome. I'm Dr. Quinn, and I want you to remember that you have control.
Okay, Maura Moed is our guest tonight on Nightique. And Maura, you are the anchor, the female anchor on the Morning Metro Live program, which is the Jackson State University's signature morning news program, right?
Right.
Tell us about the program, what you're doing.
Yeah, it's Metro Morning Live. We come on Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 a.m. and we're really driven off of local content. We do some national stuff just so that people can be updated with what's going on in the world and of course around us and in the state, but we definitely like to keep it within Jackson just so the viewers can be relatable and know what's going on in the city. So I have my co-host Onair Kane, and he brings a great political aspect to the show. I love it. He's a bulldog. He goes out there and he gets the information that people need to know, especially about the city. And Rob J, of course, sports, you know, he's been in the business for a long time, so he contributes in that way, and he's actually been appointed to a higher position now with the university, so we probably won't see him as much, but he's still there, and he will, you know, make his appearances as he should. You know, he did start the show with us from the beginning, so it's going very well, actually. You know, Comcast, Channel 14, right here, programming buddies, so definitely trying to build and grow.
What about live television? What are the challenges that you face doing a live show every morning?
Oh man, one thing is you always have to be prepared for anything, and I've learned, especially from when we first started, I've learned that a lot of things, make sure you don't rely on the prompter. Always have a script just in case so you can go to that and still be able to deliver. Every now and then there's going to be some things that are out of our hands on the technical side, whether it's with master control or who knows what else. Guests might not show up on time and we might need to rearrange certain things. So aside from that, it's always still a fun experience, and when the show's over, we're happy. He's like, yes, we finished, we got it, we got through it. So
You think there's a more adrenaline that goes into a live show than maybe a tape show?
Oh, definitely, because whether you mess up or not, it's going to be seen. You can't mess up and come back and re-record and then have this flawless show. So you have to just keep on going no matter what.
How much did modeling help you as far as your on-air television work? Was it really compatible in getting you ready for on-air?
I definitely believe so. For one, no camera shyness at all. And two, you know, posture is a big thing in modeling, so being on set, you always have to sit up, and it helps with voice projection, and not only that, knowing the camera, knowing your angles yourself, and kind of knowing how to position yourself and whatnot. So yeah, it definitely all kind of ties in.
Hey, so you've been through, you know, college, sports, the modeling, and now television. Other young people out there who might be interested in following in your career path, can you give them some advice?
Yes, the advice I would give is to definitely take your schoolwork seriously. That is the biggest advice I can give you. You know, you get to school and you have people who are just kind of there, and once they're done, it's like, what are you doing? You're working somewhere else. It's like you have wasted your time to just get a degree. You know, I'm a firm believer in, if you're going to go to school, make it worth it, not only for yourself but for your wallet, because it's not cheap. And just take school seriously. Journalism and broadcast, it's all revolved around writing too. So make sure that your writing skills are on point and just go after whatever it is that you want to go after.
So writing skills are a big thing. What about honing your on-air work? How does one get better at on-air, and what can you do, you know, as a young person in school to get yourself ready for on-air work?
Well, yes, on-air, for one, like I said, you can't be shy, but two, I would suggest finding a model, you know, and that's somebody who's been in the business or somebody you watch yourself on the news, and just kind of see what they do, listen to their voice, look at their projection, and just how their delivery is. And that way you can kind of see what is called for, but you can make it into your own as well, because you always want to be comfortable. I don't think you should, you know, go out there and try to be like Ron Burgundy or anything, but you should definitely look and see what these people are doing and try to do it yourself, but in your own way.
So what do you think about a mentor program, finding a mentor, somebody that you can work
yes,
with?
of course. I had mentors, and I was lucky enough to intern in Greenville, so I got a first-hand look at how things are done in a newsroom, from producers to the on-air talent and the camera people. So it's nice to get some inside input on what it is you're trying to do, even if you're just behind the scenes. You have to go out there and get some information.
You know, think many times that people who are successful and people who have achieved certain dreams that they've had throughout their career, different marking points, being an all-SWAC performer in sports and then hitting the modeling and succeeding and going on to the. Did you always feel that early on in your life, did you always feel that you would be a success, or did you always know what career path in general you were going to follow, but did you always have a feeling that you could accomplish whatever, or is this something you learned?
No. When I say I have never really felt like I have failed at anything, when I feel like I'm getting close to that point of where I'm not hitting where I want to be, that just drives me to go even harder. So I can't really tell you what failure per se feels like. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I said, if I feel like I'm not there, that's close enough to failure for me because I want to get to the top. So.
How did you develop that drive? I mean, does it come from, was it just innate, or did your parents instill this in you, or what? Or was it a coach maybe at some point?
Ed, I'm just a weird individual. I don't know. It's been there ever since I was younger. Learning to write my name, for instance, once I figured out how to do it, I was writing it all the time. You know, I just like always, I'm like a perfectionist, I guess you could say. I just like for things to be right and almost as perfect as possible. I can't help it. I guess I'm kind of OCD about a lot of things. Even my hands. You're always complimenting me on my hands.
Well, you know, being that you were a model, and so I mentioned to you that you could be a hand model. Yeah. I don't know if we probably can't get a close up there, but you know, yeah. So, what are your future plans? I mean, when you go forward, and you're thinking career-wise, is it going to be in television? Is it going to be in journalism? What are your next plans?
As of now, yes, that's my goal. However, I was telling you, I have a lot of hats, I have a lot of talents, and I also have other aspirations. I have business aspirations, so depending on how much I develop into getting that in motion, we'll see. I just know whichever path I take, I'm definitely going 100% no matter what.
But what's the overarching goal? If you could write the script right now, as far as your future successes, things you want to do, goals you want to hit, career-wise, what would they be?
Oh man, definitely. I love entertainment and celebrities, so I love e-news. I would love to somehow get in there and be able to be in that environment.
Like as a correspondent, national correspondent?
Yes, or even ESPN, because I love sports too. So.
You know, a lot of anchors in the world of sports came from the sports side.
Yeah.
You know, the lady on Good Morning America, who's from Mississippi.
Yeah.
She was a basketball player.
That's right.
Right, and so she, migrated into the television side to cover it. Who can better cover than someone who knows the sport?
Right, and I think that's why I take to the sportscasting a lot more, because I've played everything. I played volleyball, basketball, softball. I ran track. I know how to play tennis. I can, somewhat play golf. I've done a lot of things, and I understand the game and everything, and even football. That's one thing I feel like I can work on, because I understand the game and I can follow it, but knowing in depth why they may have decided to do this play or something, I'm working on that part. But for the most part, I can follow the game, know what's going on, and kind of see certain things on the field. But basketball, I love basketball. That's men or women's. I love basketball. I can break down a game like nothing.
Really?
Yes.
So if someone out there wanted to follow your career, get in touch with you, the Jackson State University website, the JSU TV website would be one place. I think are the correspondents on there, emails where you can reach them?
I am not sure, but it is myjsutv.com, and that's where you can see our show, Metro Morning Live, as well as yours, and a few other programs that we are airing now. And if not, my email is maura.moed@jsums.edu. And that's a good way that you can find me. I'm always checking my email. So.
Right, and I'm sure you've got Facebook out there too and all
Oh
that.
yes, my Facebook name is Maura Nicole.
Maura Nicole.
Yes, Maura Nicole.
Well, okay, we're going to be back with Maura Moed after this. Stay tuned. This is Nightique.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Well, Maura Moed, a correspondent here on JSU TV. Isn't it interesting to see the backside of the news?
Yes.
You see a lot of things, like for example, politicians.
Oh yeah.
You see them off air when their hair's not combed, or you know what I mean, when they're not right on point. It's a different. It's like A reality and B reality,
right.
sort of. You see the other side of things, right?
Yeah, of course. You always, and that's another thing, you have to see the other side of things sometimes, because things aren't always what they seem.
You know what? Many times they're not what they seem, right?
Right.
And I think a journalist, a correspondent, gets to see the other side of it. You know, through the years we've done the satellite uplinks. You know, because of the weather technology we've had for 20 years here in Jackson. And so we would, if Meet the Press or CNN needs, you know, someone, they'll send them to us, and then we do the live interconnect with the network. We've done it for so many years. So I've seen so many people, you know, you name them, they've been on our studio at the other location and now here at the university. And so you get to see a lot of people while they're waiting to go on, you know, and talking to them behind the scenes. It's really something to see the other side of things.
Yeah, and not only that, at the end of the day, everybody is a person. Everybody is people.
Everybody's a human being.
Exactly.
You know? Now here's a question. You know, we've all heard this. A lot of times a woman, especially I think this affects women more than men, but I guess maybe men too, but a beautiful woman, a model, let's say, someone who's looked at as a very attractive person, when you put them in front of the camera in a news role, suddenly, you know, to be taken serious as a journalist, sometimes the beauty can work against them, because people will say, well, she's just a pretty face. You can't take her serious as a journalist. Now, being a model as you have been, have you run into that, or is this something you've experienced?
The funny thing is, it's really no different. I think it's the same in the industry as a whole, and I'm talking entertainment, TV, modeling, whatever. I had some run-ins as a model where I was always trying to get thrown into a specific category of modeling that I didn't want to do.
Which was what?
Exotic, risque type of things, and I wasn't interested in that. I wanted to do high fashion modeling with clothes on and nice gowns and things of that nature. And the fact that a lot of the inquiries, when people wanted me for shoots or shows, they were always just scantily clad things, and I'm like, I can't do this, you know. Music video opportunities, no, I had to turn down. I turned down a lot of stuff, actually, and you just have to kind of put your foot down and let people know what it is you're there for and what you're trying to do. And it's the same with broadcast. I mean, yeah, you may have a pretty face, but you have to let people know what is behind it, and I think that that's going to get you further, because you can't let people automatically assume that's all you have going for you.
You know, you got to have a moral compass. You got to have a rectitude in your life, you know, where you can make a decision and stick by it, whatever it is. You know, probably being an all-SWAC volleyball person instilled some of that type of behavior in you, you know. where you can say, no, I'm not doing that, and that's the end of the story. You know?
Of course.
I mean, you have the strength to do it.
Of
No matter
course.
how much you want to succeed, some things you don't do.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
You know, so, well, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And, you know, there are a lot of young people out there, especially in the communications world, who need advice. And I know we've talked about it once before in the show, to capsulize some advice for someone out there who is out there looking at this and saying, I would like to do that. What is that capsulization of advice you can give?
Take your schoolwork seriously, and I like to say this, don't talk about it, be about it, because anybody can tell you anything, but it's what they show you. So you definitely have to be a go-getter and work hard, and if that's something you want to do, if you want to come on in this crazy industry and be a part of it, then you have to make sure that you're doing your part, because it's not going to be handed to you. That's all. That's really all I want to say. It's not handed to you. You have to work hard, and I'm here. If anybody's interested, when I was coming up, I really didn't have that person to go to. I was more so of an intimidation factor for that person who I wanted to get help from. I guess they saw my potential, and it's competitive. It's a competitive industry. So if you're lucky enough to find a good mentor out there, hold on to him tight. Like, I'm so glad that I can work with Rob, because that's who I go to for a lot of things.
Yeah, you got to bring your A game every day, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, good. Maura, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Maura Moed from here at the Jackson State Early Morning Program, Metro Morning Live. And we'll see you next time on Nightique. And stay tuned every night, Monday through Friday, when we'll see you next time.